Connecticut, October 8th, Route 41 south to Route 44. This is just a short section of the trail between Route 41 to a field on the other side of Route 44. We started this hike from the AT parking lot off of Route 41. We crossed the road and went into a pine forest. We sat here to eat our lunch. We walked into an open field with views of Wettawanchu Mountain. The trail reached Cobble Road here, and the trail had walked the road. We did not know which way the trail walked the road because we could not find any white blazes when we exited the field. There was a cemetery across the road, and we did not know if the trail went through the cemetery. We decided to walk left on the road, and after a short distance saw a white blaze on a telephone pole. It was the only blaze that we had seen on the road. We kept following the road, and it ended on Route 44, maybe about 100 feet from where we got onto the road. We wanted to see where the parking area was for the trail on Route 44, so we walked this road. We reached an area where we saw a lot of cars parked and found an oval road sign for the AT. It was just a dirt pull-off area for about 5 cars. It was a beautiful October day, blue skies, warm temperatures, and lots of beautiful color leaves. We wished that we had more time to hike today, but this was just a short weekend, and we just did not have enough time to really cover this section. A little piece covered is still a section cover. Next time, we can start at the field and not have to do a road walk. It was about a mile total out and back. It was never away from houses or traffic. However, the section that was in the woods was nice, and we ate our lunch on the pine ground under some pine trees with the sun casting shadows in the pines. The lunch was very peaceful. We saw no wildlife here, but we did see some asters, goldenrods in the field, and a small purple flower near the road. October 9th, Route 7 south to Great Falls parking lot. We parked in a small pull-off area on the side of Route 7 in the town of Lime Rock. The trail crossed the road and went around a cornfield, and along the Housatonic River, the corn was already harvested for the fall. We came back out onto Route 7 just a short distance. There was a large parking lot here where we should have parked. We crossed the bridge over the Housatonic River. Then we turned onto Warren Turnpike Road and passed Regional High School. We saw white blazes painted on the telephone poles on the side of the road for hikers to walk the road on this section of the trail. We walked back to our car and then drove on Warren Turnpike Road and followed the blaze on the road to where the AT crossed the road again. We parked in a small dirt pull-off area and entered the woods again. We reached the Housatonic River, where the trail followed the river on a nature trail with historical signage about an 1800 water gauge station. We found the cement foundation for the water gauge building next to the river. We reached an information booth at the end of the trail near the road. It had information on the Nature Loop trail that was made by the Northeast Utility Company. The booth had trail booklets inside the box. The AT followed the road and walked past a hydro plant before crossing a single car bridge across the river. We walked over the bridge and the trail went into the woods again, still following the river. Then it came out of the woods onto Housatonic River Road, where again it walked the road for a short time. The trail went back into the woods again and followed the river to the falls. This was a popular area with lots of people around the falls. The color here was great, so we sat down here to eat our lunch here and watch the falls. There were still lots of wildflowers near the trail: calico aster, purple-stemmed asters, white snakeroot, and some goldenrods. We reached the Great Falls parking lot and turned around and headed back. On the way back, we did the nature trail circle and found out that this area was once a horse racing track in the mid-1800s and early 1900s. The area also had a lot of iron ore, and all the trees had to be cut down in the 1800s for ash smelters for the iron ore during the Civil War. The booklets also talked about a canal that never came to be because it could not hold water, as the workers had forgot to mix in the mortar with the rocks. The afternoon had beautiful weather with blue skies, great fall color, and leaves falling from the tree, making it a beautiful fall scenery. It was getting late, around 3 o'clock, and it was getting warm out with the gnats getting more active. We got back to our car and noticed a sign across the street that read, "Trail was closed due to a train accident until August." We saw the white blaze on the tree, but we were already tired and it was getting late. We did not want to miss a section of the trail, so we decided to hike this section out and back. This piece went between the road and the railroad track. We found the area with a lot of wooden boards scattered everywhere along the track. The train had derailed here, and the wood was all over the trail during the summer, so the trail was moved onto the road for the cleanup. The wood was just left here along the trail. What a waste of wood. The trail came out across from the school. We turned around and headed back to our car. This section had a lot of road walking. Not one of my favorite things to do, but it has to be done. We normally will drive the sections that went for a long distance on the roads, but then we also have to hike on the side trails to get onto the AT. So this makes up for the distance that we have to do for not walking the roads. I loved the section along the river to the falls. It was a very pretty area, and the falls was very scenic. The weather was great and made for the perfect October day hike. I will leave here with fond memories of the trail these past 2 days.